Alright, so we're going to do some stuff with the kettlebell today, getting a nice little flow, and we're also just going to start to open up with some mobility, and I'll go from the most basic exercises, which you should probably do and be good at, before more intermediate and advanced exercises. So the very first one is just literally just the deadlift of the kettlebell. And so we're just keeping our shoulders rolled back and down, keeping our chin tucked, keeping our hips engaged, nice and strong, and just bending over, keeping that tension in our shoulders. So it's like you can lift it up just ever so slightly, and then you just press your hips forwards. And you can do this with one arm, just like that. And you can also do it to the side, which is a little bit harder. And you still want to keep a really good form and try to keep your chest and your spine pretty aligned. But you're going to be like leaning ever so slightly as you do that. So you can do that deadlift. And then you can also take the kettlebell and flip it so you're holding it kind of like this. And you can hold it with your thumbs in here. And you're going to do a squat, keeping your elbows in tight to your core. Just like that. You can do a wide squat. And you can do a lunge. You can do a lunge where you step forwards. And then from here, you can do a double arm press, pressing overhead, making really sure that you keep it in front of you if you don't have the strength yet, but you can go straight overhead as well. Okay? And then we're going to do a kettlebell swing. So essentially, you keep your shoulders very relaxed, but your shoulders rolled down and back, so your arms aren't really doing much work. It's mostly in the hips. So it's like this explosion of the hips brings it up. And so you're not really bending your knees a whole lot. It's just kind of bending at the hips. And you can do it with one arm as well, once you get the hang of the two arm. And I find that as you rotate your wrist in to go down, you can rotate it back up, like that. And then another fun exercise, which is a little bit harder, is you come to this lunge position and you pass it in between your legs, like this. And you try to stay pretty stable and keep that chest high. Just like that. You can also pass it around, trying to keep that shoulders tight enough that you protect the socket. Just like that. And then we're gonna do a nice little sumo deadlift high pull, which is a pretty easy exercise. So we're bringing our legs kind of wide, and then we're gonna do a deadlift But as we do that, we're going to also pull. So first, let ourselves do the deadlift with a wide stance. So remember, the hips are doing a lot of the work. So hips, that's the deadlift. And then we're going to do the pull. Hips, pull. Hips, pull. Hips, pull. And you can do that one arm as well. Just like that. And then do one of my favorite ones. This is a little bit harder if you don't have the upper body strength. You're gonna pass the kettlebell around your shoulders. I would start very light with this, in a circular motion, trying to keep those elbows pretty tight to your body, not out here like that, but tight. So there's a few exercises right there. And I'm going to get into some ground stuff where you're laying down and you can use the kettlebell as a counterweight. Just putting it behind your head. And you can hold it and let it bring right here. And slowly bring it back. Do one leg. And do pullovers, and then side to side, keeping it above the body but twisting it as you bring your legs to the other side, and do both legs too. And then you can do a kettlebell get up where you press the kettlebell and you roll onto this elbow and you push from here, keeping this kettlebell right overhead, straight up and down. And just work on this part of the movement to start out. Just here. And then you're going to post this leg once you get good at that. Ever so slowly and consciously come to this position, and then you're gonna stack, lunge, and then you reverse it. You really got to watch the kettlebell. Sinking back down, boom, then you do it with the other side. And those movements take a lot of focus. And once you get good at that one, I would then move on to pressing. Clean and press. That's the clean. That's the press. And just hold it stable. Just slowly come down, come up. Slowly come down, come up, trying to keep that arm straight, keeping our feet really stable. And then you can do the one-armed overhead squat. Just go as low as you can, but don't force it. Don't get a really heavy weight. Go light. Keep your eyes on the prize. Bring it down. Yep. Swing it up. And you can do a snatch, which is a smooth, clean and press in one. And when you press the kettlebell, you want to have your wrist kind of pointed forward so that you keep it at a certain resting point on your wrist. And you can also do your squats like this in the front rack position, where you have the elbow right on the midsection, the hips kind of extended, resting here. And do your lunges. And you can always do farmer's walks with it, where you just, or suitcase walks, where you literally just walk with it gripping a certain distance. Switch sides, keep going. You could hold it like this and walk. You could do overhead walks. This. Just be very mindful. And yeah, that's basically it for nice little kettlebell flow. Really start these exercises very slowly and consciously, and then progress. The snatch, the kettlebell get up, the overhead, squat, and windmill, and the shoulder rotations, those are all very advanced, as well as if you don't have the strength for the one arm press at a certain weight, just do it pressing with both arms. You can do it kind of rowing with both arms too, like that, and then press, get a comfortable grip. You can balance it here in different positions. You can balance it like this and press. All these fun things. Get good at the swing. Have fun with the hips. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys for listening. Aloha. Mahalo for watching. Peace.